All right, enough of this nonsense. You are probably clicking around on the internet looking for tax attorneys. I am going to tell you exactly what I cost. So that's part one. Part two is if you are shopping for legal services, I have some really good tips. Part three, what do you do if you can't hire an attorney? So let's dive right into it. I offer flat fees, contingent fees, and hourly rates. Let's break those down. Flat fees, just one single price tag to do your whole case. $8,500, let's say, for an IRS streamline case. And then that's it. You pay that one price. Your whole case is done, no further payments. Contingent fee is fantastic. It's a reasonable percentage of what I save you. So if you come in owing $100,000 and I knock that down to $10,000, that's a $90,000 savings. I would take a percentage of that $90,000. And if I don't save you anything, you don't pay anything. Lastly is hourly. And if we have to do hourly, let's institute some accountability and controls to keep things fair. Let's say you have an audit. I might do a retainer for 8 hours. And at the end of that 8 hours, you and I will meet. Does it make sense to continue this case or maybe convert it to another fee type? In each one of these cases, the fees are very predictable. They're upfront, they're transparent, they're clear. So you don't have to worry about a situation with surprise charges. I don't want that any more than you do. Just one click, within 5-10 minutes, I can run through your case, give you my analysis, and a fee quote generally in that time. And let me do a quick cheat sheet of the typical cases that come in and the minimum fees I charge to do those cases. So planning, memos, opinion letters, things like that, $3,000 at the very low end is where that starts. Tax returns, $2,000. Non-filer cases, you haven't filed a tax return in a long time. That is a $2,000 fee just to start that case. And disputes, I would say $20,000 to $25,000 at stake before it makes sense to potentially hire me. Collection cases, $100,000 owed. Otherwise, it just doesn't pencil out, unless those balances are based on an error, and I can correct them. So let's move on to part two. You're shopping around for an attorney, and you are in a world that is crazy. Our industry prices are all over the map. It's like pushing a shopping cart through a supermarket where one chicken dinner is $50,000, one's $10,000, one's $2,000. These are actually really good tips. I encourage you to follow them and let me know, how they work. Number one is, how easy is it to get a fee quote? Do they make you jump through hoops, filling out information forms, going to meetings, going through sales pitches, etc.? So if you're encountering any of this, I think that is a red flag. Because here's the dirty little secret of our industry. If an attorney is experienced at doing your case, they have done that case a million times. They know exactly the amount of time and energy and effort it takes to do your case and get it through. The best places of all, put their pricing right out on their website. Tip number two, fee options. Do you even get these things? We try to give a variety of options because we want the client to get the best value. Some firms, they are trying to push you into their preferred option. Okay, so tip number three, and this applies not just to attorneys, but any service provider. Any good service provider will ask you lots of questions. They are going to want to get to know you, your story, your needs, your hopes and dreams, all of that stuff. Why? Because their biggest concern is making sure you have a good customer experience. So if you are not getting a lot of questions and they are pressuring you to hire them right off the bat, that's a huge red flag. And lastly, if you can't afford an attorney, what do you do? Well, there are enrolled agents who are like tax nurses. They don't have all the legal training, but they could do good work. And another option is DIY. Try doing it yourself. I love Nolo Press, has great books. Check them out. And so does the IRS, actually. They have good publications. And then last, if you're low income, there are low income tax clinics. There you have it, guys. Hope this was helpful. And that's it. Mic drop.